We are live with Max. Hi, Raising Cane. Hi, Tango. Hi, Connie. Hi, Jordan. Great to see everybody joining us. Hey, Chico, do you want to come over here now, honey? And come see? Your brother has some snacks. Maybe you want some too. Come up. Okay. Let's go, let's go. Here. Here you go, bud. Yeah, oops, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Hi. Max, can you turn around, please? Can I turn you around? Want one? No? Okay. We on the camera? Hello, hello. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Doris. Hi, Julia. Let me, just give me 1 minute and I'll see if I can fix the sound. Seems to be reverting back to a default on me. Okay. I'm sorry. Chico, what did you do? Did you default the sound? Hi, Einstein. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Carrie. Let's see. I might bobble for a minute, folks. What do we got for audio? That any better for sound? Is that any better, folks? Much better, says Connie. Excellent. We're going to give this one a try for sound, and I will remember to go in and edit sound settings each time I start a stream, I guess. I am using some restreaming software, which lets us stream on both Facebook and on YouTube. So Max is quite eager this morning. He says that there's some wonderful snacks. Oh, glad to hear, Tia. Julia, I'm okay if I'm too loud because you can turn me down. Hi. Would you like one like this? Would you like eggies today? You want me to make you some eggies? Let's do that. Right, let's see what we got. I have to wash this first, don't I? Okay. Use that for some eggies. Rinse all the soap out first. Is that a good idea? Let's see. We have cheese. You were asking for eggs. There we go, a whole carton of eggs. What do you think, Chico? Should we cook this for you? No, you're not going to get a whole egg. I've got to cook it first. Chico's always shown an interest in eggs, even the uncooked variety. Okay. I know, I cracked it, buddy. Trust me, it's better this way. scramble, and into the microwave. Boy, Max, you're so lucky. You're going to get eggies today. Happy birthday, Doris. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that is really, really exciting. Doris has a birthday. So just give her a quick wish in the chat. Send up some hearts if you are on Facebook. Let's show her some love. Happy hatchiversary, Doris. All right. Oh, I had a question there. Oops, just need to scroll for a minute. Raising Cain, I like that. You always are a different age than you feel and than you act. Tia asks, does Chico talk? And that's actually a really, really good question. You actually got it spelled correctly, Tia. Chico does talk when he wants to, but he's not super, super talkative. Welcome to the flock, Heather. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, we do have multiple birds. I'm just going to come in a little closer here because we can do a bit more of a close-up because we're just going to be eating some snacks right now. Oops, let's see. Are you still on camera, Chico or Max? Come here, Max. Suggest that. Come on. There we go. All right. And we are going to have some snacks here in a minute. They just heard the microwave stop, and that's always the most exciting time of the day. All right. So I'm just going to toss up a quick chat overlay. This is a feature. I don't have it on all the time. It's kind of cool because it enables people to see comments from Facebook and YouTube, no matter what platform they are on. Thank you, Rahitas. Yes, Therese, grays are funny. They're very, very unique. You know, and Chico heard the microwave. He heard the microwave stop. So he knows that there's some really good treats. Raising Cain says that they're trying to teach Cain how to say whisper. He just looks at them like they're weird. So, Raising Cain, let's see. Chico, can you say whisper? Whisper. Whisper. Chico usually does not talk on command, but he does have a beautiful stage whisper. And teaching him how to say whisper was actually an absolute accident. When he was young, every time he got noisy, we would tell him to whisper. And he picked up on that and said, okay, well, I can tell you to whisper too. So he'll tell me to whisper if I'm loud. He'll tell Max to whisper if he's loud. And he also has a cutest whisker. And he thinks it's kind of fun to say. Don't you, Chico? See what's going on here. Okay, are the eggies cooked? Let's see if the eggies are cooked. Oh, eggies are cooked. So now we've got a big question. How do we want to serve eggies today? We've got three choices. We can do eggies in a cone, we can do eggies in a cup, or we can do eggies on a fork. Let me know what kind of eggies you want today. A cup, a fork, or in a cone. Connie's voting for cone. Tango's voting for cone. Carrie thinks a cone. Tiffany wants a cup. Patricia wants a cone. Oh my goodness. A cone, a cone, a cone, a cone. I think the votes today are for a cone. So let's see. The flock has spoken. We're going to have Iggy get a cone. So what we use are, and I'll just bring one over, well, because the eggs are still cooling. We just used the little tiny ice cream cones. So those are kind of fun. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at you, Max. You're kind of eager about that, aren't you? But you do have to wait for the eggs to cool. They're very impatient. They can see that the eggs are cooked and are sitting right out of reach. And I always let the eggs cool a little bit. And this is really important if you have birds. If you do have birds, never feed them food that is too hot. Treat them as you would an infant. You know, with an infant, you check the temperature of a bottle before feeding. Same with the birds. Always check the temperature. They could easily burn their crop, and if they burn their crop, they're not going to be able to eat. They're open to a lot of infections. It's just going to be a lot of expensive nightmares and large vet bills. So that's why we always make sure that we cool the food before offering it, even though the flock is a little bit anxious to get at it. It's okay if we give them food that's too cold. I mean, Chico loves chewing on ice cubes, and he'll drop them if they're too cold. But if it's too hot, they may not realize it and they could hurt themselves. So yeah, we've got a cone coming, guys. Ooh, it's still too hot. What's going on with the eggies today? Did I cook them too long? I'm literally waving eggs through the air trying to cool it off. Okay. While we're waiting for that to cool, I've got a corner that's cool. Poor Chico, I mean, he's ready to fall off of his perch. He's so eager. And a little corner that cooled off a lot faster than the rest of the eggie. So I'm going to give you your little corner. Good job. Good job. As you can see, Max is very good at figuring out how to eat off of things like forks. He pulls the food off and then holds it in his foot. I mean, that's why forks work, right? Okay, while you are waiting, I think this got cool enough. I'm just going to push it into the cone. So I've got 2 cones, and Max is going to want his first. I'm going to just go here to a bit of a full screen while they're eating, just so you can see them a little bit better. I have, which one's fuller? This one's the big one. You want? You want? Oh, yeah. Reach with your tongue. You got it. Chico, can you say I want? Good job. Good job. Chico's very quietly spoken, and I'm not sure if you heard him, but he did say, I want. And that's his version of I want. So that is pretty cool that he is that vocal and that good at asking and telling me. When I tried to teach Chico how to say I want, I was trying to tell him I want a nut, I want apple, I want banana, whatever it might be. And in my mind, I was rewarding him every time he started saying it. And in his mind, he sort of looked at me, thought about it for a minute, and thought, I can train you. I want. Now, Uman, you understand, I want whatever it is you're holding. Don't care about the rest of the words. I want should be adequate for you to give me whatever I'm looking at or whatever you're holding. Okay. African Gray 1, Uman 0. He did outsmart me on that one, but it was quite clever of him. It really, really was. Yeah, so you can see that they're really enjoying this. Max is really quite dainty. He's holding on to the cone. He's thrown off a bunch of the cone to get at the eggies inside. Chico's holding the cone a bit more daintily. And Max is making sure, oops, he dropped a little bit. He's really making sure that he's not wasting much. He loves that eggie, and eggies for birds, I do get some questions about these. Is it a good idea? Should you be giving a bird eggs? Oh my goodness, isn't that cannibalism? But the answers to that are eggs are healthy in moderation. Eggs are not something that you are going to give the birds every day, but they get to share a little bit of eggs once a week, and that is okay. Oh my goodness, we got a super chat from Tango, $5 US. Good thing they're eggies today because Tango was gonna cry. Oh yeah, Tango loves his eggies. Thank you, Tango. Appreciate that. Bok bok, Tango. All right. Yeah. Yeah, Max is eating like he hasn't eaten in at least 10 minutes. We're really glad that you had a good birthday, Doris. Really, really glad to give you a bit of a shout out. And we're glad that you're here every single week. Everybody here knows you. Yeah. Oh, Connie also did a super chat. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let me just scroll up here. Yeah, Eggy time, Eggy time. Thank you so much, Connie. €5. Yes, Eggy time. Thank you. Yeah, excellent. Oh my goodness. I always remind people, if you want to send stars on Facebook, if you want to send us a super chat, we always appreciate it. But there's really no need. If you want to show your support, likes, comments, shares, all of that helps us grow the channel, reach new flock members, and all of it's appreciated. I mean, you're here. You being here is a gift enough. But, it's always cool when we get a bit of extra too. Right, Max? Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Wendy asks, so when Chico holds the cone like that, does it mean he's done? It means that he stopped to watch what is going on for a little while. He's kind of curious what is happening and he's looking around. Yeah, quite a few people are saying that they have snow in their area. What's the weather where you're at? I know the Netherlands had snow and ice. I know quite a few of our flockers have had. We've had a bit of cooler weather this week, but we've gotten out a few times. Today it's supposed to be up to 6 degrees Celsius. Alexa, 6 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit. 6 degrees Celsius is 42.8 degrees Fahrenheit. So it'll get up to 43 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, it's not warm enough to go outside. Good question. And the real question is, it depends. It depends on the sun. It depends on the wind. It might be warm enough. It might not. And I know sometimes we think about temperature as an absolute, but there's a lot of factors that influence it. If Max goes out in this kind of weather, we probably won't go out for long. But if it is sunny, he will enjoy going out. And I do have some people who express concern. There's snow on the ground. Isn't that bird going to freeze? There you go, Max. And the answer is no. No. They are not going to freeze. Thank you, Barbara. Oh my goodness, Barbara sent us a super sticker. Super, super cute. Not sure why it's not letting me share the stickers as they show up for me. It seems to put them on text when I do an overlay, but hey, that's okay. Thanks, Barbara. But definitely, if if it's nice enough, we go outside. And what happens when we go outside? Max is wearing a harness underneath his hoodie, which means he's warm. He's on my arm. When I go outside with him, I go bare arms. And if my arms are bare and it's too cold, I'm not going to be out for long. I can guarantee you that. I will definitely not be out for long if it is really too cold out. If Max is uncomfortable or if he wants to go home, he has no qualms about telling me time to go in. He will lead me home. He's very, very good at telling me that it's time to head in and head inside, have some snacks, play some games. So never worry when you see us outdoors. It's by choice. Max enjoys being outside. All right, Max, you finished your cone. Do you want your cone again? Yeah? Would you like that cone? Yeah. No, even though the weather looks cold, it's not really that cold out when we go out. Remember, snow does not melt immediately. Snow is we have a snowpack, and that means that the snow's been falling for a while. Would you like one of these? Lego? A Lego chaser? Yeah. If it's been snowing, it accumulates and the ground freezes and it sort of acts as a little bit of insulation and it doesn't melt that quickly. Oh, good question. Good question. Raising Cane asks, where do you get his hoodies? Most of his hoodies we picked up from a company called Avian Fashions in the States. But we might be getting a few more hoodies. We're thinking about it. We're looking at them and thinking about placing another order. The big thing about hoodies, though, for us in Canada, is when we order them in, we are going across, we have um, the exchange rate, we have shipping and customs and everything else. So frequently, if we do an order, we will order multiples just to make the best use of what we're doing. Because if we order them one at a time, we're paying an awful lot of shipping and customs. Kicker about pulling something into Canada is if, say, it's coming UPS, as soon as it hit $40, UPS will assess the GST and taxes. I have no quabble with GST and taxes. But my quabble with UPS is when they charge me a $20 fee to process that. So sometimes at that point, the shipping and the customs processing fee are more expensive than the item. It's almost funny. So we're always careful about that. Yeah, we're definitely Canadian. I mean, Canadians, we get, in Calgary, we get Chinooks, which are warm winds that come over the mountains, which is why we have the warmer days in the middle of the winter. So, Max, are you still hungry? Would you like something else? We've got apples. Would you like an apple? Not really. What about you, Chico? Would you like an apple? Oh, wait a minute. Max, you should have told me. Should have told me there was another piece of egg. I didn't see it. Okay, you're going to just pull it off the fork like that. Okay. And Chico, I've got a little bit of egg here. You want more? No? Okay. Max is going to help me scrape the bowl. He does not like letting any eggie go to waste. These are just the scraps I'm scraping off of the cooking container. We just got a little microwave egg cooker, and it does stick a little bit, but that's okay. Oh, not good. Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm gonna hold the fork on these. because they're just little tiny scraps. The scrappy bits. Yeah, yeah. That's right. I think this is all gone, buddy. Do one more scrape. You want to lick the spoon? Lick the fork? You sure? No. Okay. Yeah, I don't worry about the two birds sharing utensils. They've lived together for uh 18 years now, so I mean, if it's not really a big deal for them. Okay, Chico, would you like an apple? Anybody like an apple? See what we can do for apples. Right, I've got one right over here. Get you a slice. Would you like an apple? Would you like an apple? I'm feeling healthy. My goodness, there we go. We are all appled up and we are happy. All right. What do you think? You know what's kind of fun is we're talking in the chat. If you're watching the chat, a few folks are talking about accents and the accents that their bird has, the accents that they have. And everybody knows TCal, yellow-naped Amazon, is here fairly frequently, stops for a visit, and he does talk with a bit of an English accent, which is always kind of fun. And, I always think, well, I don't speak with an accent. This is how I've spoken my entire life. But I'm sure to everybody else out there, I do sound like I have an accent. Yeah, I think we all have accents, even though we don't recognize it. Always fun. Okay. Was that good? Did you eat all the apples? You ate all the apples? Let's see. How about I clean up? It's okay, Max. I'll get you some of this later. I always put down a little bit of fresh paper if the birds have been eating. I'll clean the perches a little bit later. I just don't want to have food on toys. And if I drop some paper, gives them something to poop on, and keeps the food off of the toys. So, what do you think, Max? Would you like to play some games? You want to play some games? Let's see. You want to play some music? Want to play music? Here, you show us how. Push the button, yeah. The fun button. Push the button again. You don't get the fire button. You push that one into the toy. You're being nice and gentle today, Max. I've got an idea. Let me check something on batteries first. I'll be back. You being good? Does this have batteries? It does have batteries. All right. And play the big piano? You gotta be gentle with it. Let me just dust it off a little bit. Oh, you have cockatoos, you have dust everywhere, people. It's the nature of having birds. Here. Oops, I turned on something by mistake. There you go. Ooh, gotta be gentle. I'm gonna double check here that we're in frame. We're gonna move you over a little bit. There we go. Yeah. All right, push gently. Push gently. You're allowed to play music, you're not allowed to remove the keys. Those are the rules. You can play with it if you're gentle. And push the big buttons. Chico, I know you're a little scared of this. See, it's okay. It's right here. I'm going to put it back to Max. Yeah, you're safe. Saw how, actually, just watch for a minute how Chico reacts. Would you like to see this, Chico? Yeah, he just leans down, backs away, hackles up. He says that keyboard is really, really scary, but it's okay if it's in front of Max. Max will keep me safe. Gonna play some music? You try. No, not right now. Okay, we'll turn it off and we can play with it later. Max is just like a little kid. He has an exceedingly short attention span. He does like music. Music's fun. Let's put this over here. Okay? Play with it again later. We got another piano you can play with. Do you want to play with the small piano? The small one that plays some other musics? Play the other one. Here, push. Here. Don't put your beak in between. Okay. So Max isn't really in the mood for music right now. More in the mood to listen to it than to make it. That was fun, Max. What do you think? Was that a good thing to do today? Yeah, we played some music. See. Whoops. Oh boy, looking at all of the comments here. Sue has a really good question. She says that she misses TCal and wonders when he'll visit again. Well, I won't give the exact date, but I know he's coming again this spring for a short visit. So he will be back. Yeah, just catching up on a couple of comments. Julia, yes, it is a really huge keyboard, but it's actually a kid's keyboard. And it's the first musical instrument that Max owned. And I put it away for a little while because he was getting super, super violent and he wanted to rip off all the keys. But today he was playing with it really, really nicely. I don't think we got Tango song today. Oh no, no song for Tango. So I'm going to just catch up here on comments quickly. Hi, Christina. Yeah, we have quite a few Canadians on the stream. People from England, people from Canada, a lot of folks from the States, Netherlands, France. Yeah, everywhere. With Tango, we might get your song later. You never know. You never know. Oh, Max looks like he wants to take a little bit of a nap. So I think, I feel like a nap after eating sometimes. Yes, we did do a bit of music there, didn't we? See there, let's flip on the chat overlay for a little. Oh, let's flip it on once and talk and leave it on. There we go. So we can see folks chatting and we can answer some questions. Because Max wants to sit quietly for a few minutes and he'll be in the mood to play again in a couple of minutes. We all know how Max likes sometimes a short nap after eating. Hi, Sandra. Time for a thoughtful Lego. Yeah. Quiet time. Quiet time does not last. We'll play catch in a few minutes. You missed the videos this week. We had a bit of a catching incident where Max caught one of his new big rings and it went squish. Complete emergency. And that actually happened only a few minutes after the last week's stream, right after we turned it off. We actually left a camera running just to record what was happening with the flock for a few minutes and had another quick game with Max. And sure enough, that's when the exciting flight happened. Yeah. So maybe we'll play some catch. One thing that happened this week as well when playing catch, Max figured out a bit of how to toss toys back to me. And we had a really good game of interactive catch. And we can see if we can try to get that going today. I'll shift Max over a little bit. And I'll grab some Birdie Bagels and see if I can get Max to play an interactive game with me. That's the newest thing that Max has been doing, which is kind of cool. With Max, the interesting thing is there's always something new. He always has a new idea of what he wants to do, a new game he's playing, something that is his current favoriteest thing in the world. And it changes. I mean, just like our interests change, his interests change over time as well. And if he gets bored with the toy, I put the toy away and I bring it out again later. And usually when I bring it out again, it is a very exciting toy. Yes, Patricia, we had liftoff and both flock members were flying. It was actually a lot of fun. Like, just the way that every birdie sweat scrambling. So just before I pull out some bagels to play with Max. Did anybody have any questions? Does anybody need a shout out that I've missed? I know we've always got some new flock members joining us, which is always super, super exciting. Max, Lydia says, you look so beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. You know that too, don't you? Yeah. Well, I thought about that video a little bit and thought, maybe it's going to be kind of boring because a whole bunch happens when I'm off camera. And that's why I added a few subtitles explaining what was happening. And, you saw the birds disappear from the perch. You saw the birds come back, and they really were not gone for long. I picked up Max first and then Chico. Why Max first? Because Max needs more attention than Chico. Max's feelings get hurt a lot easier. Chico's a little bit more stoic. Now, Chico's scared more easily. He's wary of toys more easily, but he's also a lot more mature in how he deals with it. Ooh, Christina has a really good question. She asks, what was Max's first word? I don't know, Christina, because he was 10 years old when he came to live with us. But the first word he said to me that I understood was mom. So that was a contact call I gave him. Connie asks if I'm. Where did that question go? Come back here, question. Oh yeah, cockatoos tend to be really, really sensitive. I'm just gonna scroll back here. So we've got some really good questions here. So we have one where is that displaying on screen? Yeah. Patricia's asking, can I show how their crop is full? Someone says it puffs up after they eat. Well, what happens is the crop, Max is saying he wants a scritchy right now. So I'll give him a scritchy. Can you stand up tall, buddy? What's tall? Here, you want a toy? You want that? So the crop is right under here, right under the neck here. And you're not going to see it too well when the bird is fully feathered. But on baby birds or birds who have a plucking habit, you can sometimes, okay, Max, I know, I'll give you a scritchy. You can sometimes see it a little bit better. And the best description I've ever seen of it is somebody called it a food boob. And it honestly looks like the area of the chest just underneath the neck, right square in the middle where, where you might have breasts. That is what just gets puffed up. It's full of food. And the crop acts as a bit of a storage spot. When they first eat, all of the food goes into the crop. From the crop, it goes into the digestive system. Their digestive systems are very different than ours. Don't know if that really answered, but Max is saying, he does not want me moving those feathers right now. So I'm going to not move those feathers. But how do I know when the flock is full? I pay attention. They're not going to keep eating if they're full. And it's as easy as that. Babies sometimes don't have the ability to understand that as much as the older birds. And the older birds usually don't eat till absolute full. They're smart enough to know that if they don't eat too much, they're going to be more nimble. If there's an emergency, they can fly a lot easier if they're not full. And they just nibble through the day. I mean, they're not going to go hungry, but they don't stuff themselves quite to the point that some of the babies do. Um, there we go. We've got a question from Connie. And Connie is asking, am I never afraid that Max throws the bagels to Chico? It's actually more a worry that he's going to throw them at Chico. He'll toss them and he will, he's almost hit Chico a few times. That's happened. Tiffany asks about the best place to get toys. It's going to depend a lot where you're at. What we really like in Canada is a company called Parrot Trends. And what we do a lot with the toys that we get from Parrot Trends, I mean, we'll get a whole variety. For example, we got a bunch of toy parts and a bunch of goodies. Like here's a bag full of, oops, wakey, wakey. Come on, computer. I'm hoping I didn't just lose this. There we go. My screen went to sleep, which was kind of weird. But I mean, for example, we'll buy a bag full of foot toys. Do you want me to open that bag right now? And we tend to get them from a company locally called, just see here where my screen is, called Parrot Trends. And we'll buy toy parts from them. We'll buy full toys from them. Want one? How about you? Oh, you don't want the shoe right now. Okay, that's fine. You untie it, put it right there. We're going to have flying shoes, which is fine. It happens. But we buy a lot of toy parts. Like the Birdie Bagels that we're going to play catch with are intended to be parts for larger toys. And we'll sometimes put them together in larger toys, but we find making our own toys can be a lot more economical. And we also find that sometimes it's more fun. Max prefers foot toys. He prefers things he can hold on to with his feet. The other place to look for toys, and people forget this, they forget that toys can be found like this. Is this a bird toy? Yes. Is it a baby toy? Yes. So we just picked up a large bag of nuts and bolts for toddlers. And Max does play with them. Chico plays with them as well. You want to undo the bolt today? Or are you going to throw it today? Okay. But sometimes that's a unique spot to look as well. I love baby toys because they are built for babies to put in their mouths. And if it is safe for a baby to put in his mouth, it's, that the plastic is going to be safe. And always, always know your bird. Know how they play, know how they interact. Some toys are supervised toys. The tiny shoes, for example, and I'm just going to bring one over. So I was going to talk a bit about toy safety. And then we'll get back to a few of the other questions and a good game of catch. But the tiny shoes, these ones, there's two different types of them out there. It's probably just two manufacturers, but you'll notice this one, if I've got the close-up okay, does not have metal grommets on it. It is just rubber, canvas, and a bit of cord. I'm not going to let the flock play with it unattended, but I will do an interactive play with it. So that's always kind of fun. But yeah, so I tend to go to some smaller places. I look for toy parts. I'll go looking for baby toys. Honestly, baby toys are sometimes the best toys I've ever found. These rings that we play with a lot, these are actually baby links. They're little rings that are meant for babies. Some bird stores also sell them, but you can buy the links right from the baby toy store. And it is the exact same thing. Tango asks, do Max and Chico enjoy cuddling? Chico enjoys a head scritchy on his own terms. Max is into cuddling. Barbara asks, is a humidifier with a UV light inside bird safe? Yeah, that's not a problem. Humidity is actually a great thing for the flock, and UV light is what they would get outside. A lot of people actually put UV lights out. They'll put UV lights in the bird area so that the bird gets some sunlight while they're indoors. Because remember, sunlight does not travel through windows too well. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh boy, now Sue has the best question ever. She asked, do the Birdie Boys ever wake you up in the middle of the night wanting to play? Play? Usually not. Explain to me something wonky is going on? Absolutely. Somebody walks past with a dog, makes a bit of noise. Max will be the first to raise the birdie alarm, and I'll usually come down and figure out what's going on. Sometimes Chico will raise a birdie alarm too. He'll have something he'll just want happening. So yeah, so they definitely gonna hide that question. Here we go. So they definitely do sometimes wake up in the middle of the night, but then I mean so do people, right? Okay. Hide messages. There we go. I'm having a hard time scrolling through. Does Chico like to go on outside walks as well? Chico prefers walks where there are no cameras, there are no people, there are no cars, and there are no houses. Now, actually, he makes the exception for me. I'm his people, but he likes walking in the mountains. He does not like walking in the city. There's too much going on, and grays tend to be, I've heard them described as high strung, but it's really a case of African grays know that there's a lot going on in the world that can be kind of scary, and it needs to be watched carefully. So, yeah. Do Max and Tico ever play with each other? Not directly, but they do interact with each other. They do tease each other. They do have fun with each other. Okay, I'm going to flip off the chat overlay for a few minutes, and I'm going to arrange Max over here and see if I can get him to play catch with me. So I'm going to move back a little bit here. I'm sorry, I'm going to bobble for a few minutes as I do this. I want to, you don't need to see my kitchen or if it's in the living room, but I do want to get Max set up. Oh, there we go. So that you can see what's going on and you can see what's going on with me. I'm just going to set something up here so I can see what's going on too. Whoopsies, that's not going to work. Go on you. Hey, I'll do this. That won't work. Yeah, just bear with me for a minute, folks. Okay. There we go. That's not going to work either. There we go. That will work. I still have to hide off Tango's question, I see. Sorry, Tango. Did not mean to leave you abandoned. There we go. Now I can just see what's going on. Let's go down here. Yeah, that was a really good question, though, Tangle. Definitely, definitely. Okay, Max, do you want to play catch with me? Let's start. Are you going to wake up, huh? You going to wake up a little bit? Sorry, Chico, I did not mean to bump. Here, catch. Okay. We're just going to warm up with a few catches and see if we can toss to me. You toss to me? You toss to me? Or are you just going to play? All right. Max? Oops. Oh, that was tough to catch. How about an orange one? To me. I'm over here, Max. Toss it to me. I want to catch. Rotate over here. There we go. I'm going to shift you back a little bit. There we go. Catch. Oops. Catch. Catch. Okay, Chico. I got it! No, I can't catch it when you throw it there. It's okay, Chico. We're going to rotate a little bit more. Sorry, Chico. I don't want you in the line of fire. You want to catch? No? Would you like a ring? No rings. Okay. Let's see. Get some more up off the floor. Because that's where all bagels end up. Want to catch? That was right to me. Catch. With a little pink one. I got it. Thank you. I can't catch it when you throw it that direction. What about this one? Yeah, can't catch it when it's over there. How about this one? That one didn't work. Thank you. I got it. I got it. Oops, let's try that again. Catch. Woo! You're fine. Okay, Jakes. Yeah, wet. Right. You go over here. I can't get my eye on you. Right. Good. Good. Yeah. Because as if Max is trying to aim those bagels, I'm not going to be there. Catch a big one? Big. 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 I don't blame Chico. You toss back to me? To me. Toss. I'm over here. I can't catch it when it's there. I want to catch. I want to catch. But I'm over here. How about this? I got it! Yay! I got it! Yay! Catch. Toss to me. I'm actually over here, Max. Yeah. No, can't catch it when it's over there. Nope. How about this one? Ooh, that one's light. It's actually, when they're light like that, they're hard to catch, aren't they, Max? Like that, because I see you did a poop. Don't want toys dropping in it. Almost. Got it. Here, you toss back to me where I can catch it. No, I don't blame Chico for leaving. Oh, I can't catch it over there. How about this one? It's purple. How about blue? Yay! You threw it right back to me. Catch. Come on. Ah! Whoa! That was exciting. Hey, got more toys? How about a cup? Can you toss the cup back to me? Toss the cup where I can catch it? Good job! Good job! It's too far away. Nope, all gone with this cup. Catch. So toss back to me. To me. To me, okay? I know it's exciting. Yay! Yeah, that was the right direction. That really was. Catch. How about the side? Yay! I got it. Back to me. I'm over here, not over there, buddy. Try. 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 How about a catch? Right? Thank you. Yeah, that was right to me. Can you toss back to me? That's pretty clever. Can you do that again? That was hard to catch. All right. Catch. Catch. Oh. Yay! No. Can I catch a shoe again? Shoe's still in play. Oh, it's tough. Okay, let's get rid of that shoe. One more. One more. Okay. You're getting bored, I know. Let's play one more. Catch. Trust me. There we go. Good job. Good job. Good job. Play until this one's on the floor, okay? Yes! That was so smart. That was so smart. Catch. Catch. All gone. All gone. Okay. There we go. But you can see that Max was really getting into the idea of where to throw it. And he was thinking about aiming it a bit. You did really good there, Max. Awesome. Awesome. And for a bit more of a close-up. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. No, so that was definitely fun. And it gave Max something to catch on to. It gave him a bit of interactivity. Now I'm back to the camera. Absolutely. Now, Max enjoys playing toss. He enjoys flinging toys, even if he's not tossing it right back to me. But that's something I'm trying to encourage him doing to see if we can get an actual game of catch happening. Yeah, Chico just said, forget it. If Max is learning how to aim those things, I don't want to be here. And I mean, you notice that Chico took off and Max did a bit of a flap, but he held on to the perch quite carefully. So we had one flight and one flap. You know, Carrie, Chico gets lots of attention, but Chico has his own standards of what he enjoys for attention. So it's definitely fun. I mean, it's a Max, right? Oh boy. Yeah. But Max had a little bit of a game of catch. The idea of him throwing it back and me catching it is a little bit weird to him still. He did a much better job. What was it? Thursday, I think it was Thursday evening. We were playing a really good game of catch, and he got right into it, and he was really aiming at me. Today, the aim was a little bit off, but that's fine. It's just like playing with a toddler. You know, if you're teaching a toddler to play catch and throw, that toddler is going to have balls going everywhere until they figure out how to accurately toss that ball where they want it to go all the time. So Max is beginning to learn that, which is the next step in catch. You know, Willie, awesome is Max's favorite word. You know, he learned that when we were out on an outing. Somebody said, "That's awesome." And a few minutes later, Max was trying to say the word awesome. And our friend Lori, yes, this is Lori from the meetup video with her and Max barking at each other. That's a friend, but she was there too and she heard it. And we both were encouraging Max to say awesome. And it's his, you know, he says it a lot. Anne asks, how many words does Tico know? Oh, Tico probably has a vocabulary of about 50 unique words. And, you know, there's a few words that are sort of more sounds, but they're just fully understood by both of us. And it's a sound he only uses in that particular context. And he's sort of got a specific whistle chirp that he uses for thank you. And I mean, you know, if I give him something that he wants, he'll reward me with that sound. So I basically take it as that's what I wanted or thank you. And, you know, it's just understood. So we do have conversations. Max has a much larger vocabulary, but Max is not very good at pronouncing words. Max talks often like he has a mouthful of marbles, and sometimes you have to listen twice to understand what he's saying. But he does use words in context. He does try to say things. You have to be careful what you say around him. One day we were actually outside and we were talking about traffic and we were talking about cars and the cars that start with the T and end with the K and are used to haul things. We also have pickup types of these cars. Yeah, we're not going to teach him that word because you know how he was trying to say it. Yeah, we really don't want him saying it with that letter in front of it. Yeah. French Paul, the other one that Tico uses most commonly on a stream. Tico is quite camera shy and he does not want to talk too much in front of the stream. Here came out of Khmer, and here is sort of his newest version of it. But the other one he uses a lot is I Want. Like we've heard that one on the streams as well. And Whisper. But a lot of other words he'll use only when he wants something. Like, for example, if he wants water, he's never learned how to say water, but he makes this really loud dripping sound or a really loud slurping sound. One is sort of just say he wants the water to be poured, and the other is he wants to drink water. So he'll sort of use those depending if he just wants fresh water or if he wants me to offer him a drink. And it's quite funny, but he's made some of the noises, and initially he's not quite sure what this noise means. And I say, okay, that was a good whisper, Max. Whisper, whisper. Really hope the camera's picking up on that. Chico's telling me to whisper. Absolutely, every African grade is different. But with Chico, he made this water sound from pouring water that he learned. And I think at first it was, he sort of watched the water pouring, and then when he made that sound, I whisper, whisper, whisper. Are we being too noisy? But when he made that drinking sound, the first thing that happened is, the pouring sound, I gave him some fresh water. And the next time he did it, I gave him fresh water. And the next time he did it, he already had fresh water, but I gave him fresh water. And he watched, observed very closely to say, this is kind of cool. I make the sound, this activity happens. He does understand basic cause and effect. And then he made sort of a drinking sound, and the water came over and was offered to him to drink. So if he makes a drinking sound, I mean, he's capable of walking up to his water bowl. Sometimes he'll use it to tell me he needs fresh water. But if he makes a drinking sound, I'll take him to his water bowl or I'll offer him a drink. And that's sort of how we've associated the noises with specific actions or specific words. A lot of it is the birds training us, but Chico loves having control over his environment. And he figured out at an early age, if he only uses words in context, he's going to get me to do something. But if he's just babbling, I'll say the word back to him, but it's not going to get the response he wants. The word here, he usually wants to know where I am. He wants a bit of a contact call back. So that's what here means. Yeah, Tico's definitely the quiet gentleman. But not all birds whisper. That's so good, Chico. Not all birds talk. Not all birds talk well. I mean, the Moluccans tend to mumble a lot. I think it's just the way they hear words. Max probably thinks he's saying words perfectly. And if he says something, I say it back to him usually, and I try to encourage the language development. Definitely fun how we have such different personalities. Yeah, birds are amazingly adaptive and they're really smart about their environments. They understand how the environments work, how to communicate, even with humans that may not quite speak bird. I mean, Tico trained me. I did not know anything about the larger birds when we got Tico. That's right, Tico, whisper. But he trained me and he sort of taught me how to bird. And then Max came along, and Max is totally different. Everything I learned from Tico really didn't apply for Max. Chico said, don't you dare touch me anywhere except the top of my head when I ask you for a scrunchie. Max said, I'm a cockatoo. I have no boundaries. I want to cuddle. But they definitely have very, very different approaches. I'm not quite sure where the Facebook folks went. They just seem to have disappeared. I'm not sure if Facebook has a limit on the length of a live stream or not. Nope, Connie's on. Connie just jumped to Facebook and I see a comment from her there. So it might just be that the folks over there are being quieter. But yeah, yeah. No, it's honestly, don't ever get a bird thinking you want a bird that's going to talk. It, you're probably going to be disappointed. The talkers, like our friend Einstein, the ones that talk a lot and frequently, it's more the rarity than the usual case. Chico's just in the mood to say whisper right now. We asked him to say it earlier. He didn't want to then, but he's been thinking about it ever since. And I think he understands that, yes, we're talking about him talking. So he starts talking a little bit, which is kind of cool. Max is just having a bit of a nap right now. Yeah, French Paul, that's hilarious. They heard Chico and obeyed. Absolutely. Yeah, YouTube is Max, Facebook is Chico. Yeah. If you do get a bird, hi Einstein, and I think Einstein would agree with us on this. If you do get a bird, don't get a bird because you think they're going to talk. Don't get a bird because you have preconceived ideas of what your relationship with that bird is going to be. Birds are very different. Each individual bird is going to be very different. You would not find another Moluccan that's exactly like Max. You'd find some that have similar characteristics, but there's no guarantees what you're going to end up with. Max is a rescue. I mean, that's formed his life experiences and helped make him the bird that he is today. It's he's got his own ideas about the world. If I picked up another Moluccan and treated them exactly the same, they would not react the same as Max does. They have individual personalities. So always like to remind folks of that. And honestly, our shelters are full of birds who need a second chance. They're full of birds where somebody thought that they wanted a bird. They ran out, they bought one on a whim, like, oh, this is a pretty picture. I'll buy it and hang it on my wall. They ran out and bought a bird and said, I'll buy this bird and I'll bring him home. Then they discovered that there's noise and there's mess and oh my goodness, like what did I get into? This is more work than a cat or a dog. Birds are expensive and they're demanding and you can't just lock them in the cage for hours on end. They need interaction. Now, I'm super fortunate that both the boys here like playing inside of their cages. They've got really generous sized cages, and it's something that they do while I'm at work. As you saw with the video of the flight this week, when Max was a little bit scared after the floor had hit him and he had a cuddle, he said, okay, I want to go play back inside my cage because it's home. I'm comfortable there. And I just want to go to my room and play there. Just let me. And then he was balking away a minute later. Chico, on the other hand, I mean, he wanted to just stay out. He wanted to observe. Today, Chico decided he did not want to be near Max and he didn't want the play stand, so he was going to head off to the cage. He actually, that's where he wanted to go. And that's perfectly fine. It's part and parcel of their turf. Yeah, yeah. I honestly, if we ever got another bird, we're not planning on it. Uh, but it would definitely be a rescue. We would not buy a baby. It would be a bird that needs another home. We wouldn't contribute to the pet trade, but we would contribute to the birds who are seeking another home. Just because you see a bird in a pet store and it looks lonely, don't think you're rescuing it by running into the pet store. That's not a good idea. Because when you do that, you're sending a very loud signal to the pet store by handing over your money. You're saying, please bring in more baby birds. Please encourage them to breed. Please sell us more without telling us what to expect when we get a bird. And, a lot of those birds at the pet store will end up in a rescue. They'll end up rehomed multiple times. So that is wonderful. The things that matter in life are not things. Animals are not things. Clearly a difficult understanding for the majority of pet owners. Absolutely. With pets, it's a relationship. I don't force the birds to do anything they don't want to do. I give them options. I ask. And consent based is honestly the path of least resistance. The birds are happy and I'm not arguing. Now, if I ever, ever need something to happen with the bird, absolutely. If it's for the bird's own good, I will enforce my will. Hey, we've got a tornado warning. I need you to come out of the cage now, go downstairs. Would you like to? No, I'm going to stay here. Well, not going to be a choice. I'm going to grab you. I'm going to take you downstairs because this is not something where it's an option. So, you've got that. You've got that as this is not an option. But you have other things where if the bird says, hey, I don't want to play with this toy, or I'd like to just sit over here and chew on some wood, as long as they're not destroying your house, yeah, it's probably okay. So, whisper, whisker. Chico just wants to be the star. Yeah. One thing that some of my friends do is they foster. And a lot of the rescues, whether it's a humane society or a cat, a dog, or a parrot rescue, a lot of them do look for foster situations where an animal can be housed in a home, where they can get interaction, they can get one-on-one attention training, and it can help prepare that animal to head into another home. Now, sometimes the fosters are failed fosters, where the person who's fostering the animal decides, yeah, okay, I'm going to keep this one. But sometimes it's just helping alleviate the stress in the shelter. It's helping that animal who otherwise would get 10 seconds of attention have a lot more attention. So that's another option. And definitely, I've had some of the locals reach out to see if we can shelter birds. Usually we get asked for larger birds who are a little bit more troublesome because they know that I can handle them and not many people can. But, you know, if you don't have a bird rescue near you, you can still support bird rescues. Do a little bit of research, make sure they're a legitimate rescue. You'll notice some people, like our friend Einstein in the States, they talk a lot about the Wings of Love and the Oasis, two rescues that they are really, really familiar about. We'll talk about Magnolia. Now, Magnolia's in the States, but we've been following them for a long time. We'll talk about Greyhaven and Mika's and a few others just because we're familiar with them and we know that they are legitimate and they're legitimately doing good work. So always do a little bit of research just to make sure that it's legitimate, but that's one way you can help. I mean, if you can volunteer to rescue, if you can help clean, if you can, I see we've got a dance going on. Those are always fun. I mean, there's many things you can do with a rescue, and they always can use a bit of help, even if you're just the occasional helper. I mean, maybe you just want to go in and help them do some gardening or something. Every bit helps. If their staff don't have to help out the gardening, their staff can spend more time with the animals. You can spend time with the animals. There's lots of options on helping out. So there's many, many options for the rescues. Yeah, the head rolls are fun. Sometimes Max wants to dance. Sometimes I think he's got a feather out of place. Sometimes I think it's a way of scratching his neck. I mean, honestly, it's fun. has a good time. But on that, I think we're going to end the stream. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. We had a lot of fun today. Just another head roll. We try to do a little bit of different variety. What I'm going to do with the comment stream on the side, if we're sitting and chatting, if we are, sort of a Q&A, I'll flip on the on-screen chat so we can see what everybody is saying. And if we're focusing on an activity that the bird is doing, I'll just go to full screen. So I'll do a little bit of a hybrid there. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, what's going on, Max? Oh boy. Where did you go? Yeah. Come on. Come on. Oh boy. Momager, I'm done. Okay, flock. I'm going to end the stream just with a quick close-up. Max just decided he wanted to go for a quick fly. And I think he wanted to try Chico's trick of go into the kitchen. Watched Chico the other day. All right, buck, everybody.